Okay. I'm so happy today. I'm really, really happy and excited for this Trailblazer Talk. So, everyone, hello. Welcome to our Trailblazer Talks. These are our in-depth conversations with people whose stories will inform and inspire us. These talks, they're really intended to support the members of the Vision and Victory group, which is located in Skool. This is a safe place. It's the safe place that we all need in order for us to strive and grow with like-minded people who are supporting us. Our small but mighty group has already grown to the top 10% of communities on the Skool platform. And these Trailblazer Talks give the members of our community the opportunity to ask questions, gain insights, and most importantly, realize that greatness is accessible to all of us because it is in all of us. So today I am exceedingly excited to welcome Love Augustin. She is a member of our Skool community. You all have access to her within the Skool app. She is very active there. You've seen her on the leaderboards. She's a dedicated healthcare professional, and her passion for nursing it shines through in every aspect of what she does. And I'll tell you guys a personal story about Love for me and her care later on. But I wanted to let you guys know that Love has made it a mission to not only provide exceptional care to her patients, but also to a generation of nurses through her mentorship. She is the owner of Splendid Medical Staffing Agency. It's a healthcare staffing agency that she started during the pandemic. She's also the CEO and the founder of the nonprofit Hope for a Healthier Life. And her husband, Junior, are also the owners of the Circle K BP gas station here in Central Florida. And they are the only African American owners here in Central Florida. From the early days of her nursing career, Love really felt a deep calling to support and to educate others. As a mentor to different nurses, she is dedicated to imparting her wisdom and her expertise and instilling in her nurses the values of compassion, empathy, and excellence. Welcome, Love. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for having me, Nicole. Thank you, Oja, for joining us, Miss
Yeah.
Noel, and also Miss Indret. I hope I'm saying that right. And I see Mrs. Hicks just joined us. Once again, my name is Love Augustin. I am thrilled and honored to be with you all at this hour. As Nicole stated earlier, I do have a passion for the medical field. I am a registered nurse. Most people don't know this. Prior to nursing, I was working for the city. I worked for Commissioner Inks as his personal aide. Yeah, I did that for a couple of years and I left um, the city to return to my calling, which is nursing. Everything I do really revolves around nursing. I have a passion for caring for people so much to the point where I founded my nonprofit organization called Hope for a Healthier Life. It is a medical nonprofit organization that brings awareness to anyone that is battling a chronic disease. And two main programs we focus on is cancer and mental health. With the cancer, we assist those who are going through cancer treatments and that needs like just a support group. We assist with that as well. And for the therapy session, we give therapy to those who are suffering in silence. That is my baby. In my nine
Mm.
to five, my moneymaker is Splendid Medical Staffing. But as I often tell people in Nicole, if I can have my ideal job, it would be Hope for a Healthier Life because I get that euphoria when I see the faces, the impact that I'm making in these patients' lives.
Yeah. So when did you know that you wanted to get into nursing?
I would say at the age of 12. I assisted my aunt in taking care of my mother. So the plan was right out of high school to go ahead and commence nursing school. I completed my prereqs at the age of 19 and decided that nursing was too stressful because I lived with my aunt during college years and she was a nurse manager and she came home every day and complained about how stressed and overwhelmed she was. So I deviated from that plan, went and got a bachelor's in health administration, which served me absolutely no good. From there, I went to UCF and started a political science degree because I wanted to get into politics, which I'm still 2 classes away. I never completed it. So from there, I started working for the city, thinking one day I would be a mayor or a commissioner. And then when I realized the work that they put in and they have absolutely no privacy at all, I said, absolutely not. Let's go back to my first love. So I left politics behind and went back to nursing.
Yeah. And now that you have created this whole career and company based on nursing, do you still believe like it's really stressful? Or is it just as stressful as anything else?
Nursing is very, very stressful, to be honest with you, but I just focus on my patients. There are a lot of politics that plays into nursing, where your patients and the staff, we're just a number. We have a dollar price on our head, and I just focus on my mission and my purpose. I know why I'm there, and it's just to fully focus on my patients and give them the best care I can, which is, my motto is take care of your patients like you would take care of your loved one. The same way I took care of my mother, and I've taken care of my grandmother is how I take care of my patients. So with that focus, I'm able to say, you know what, at the end of the day, I'm here for 12 hours. I'm going to do my best and just keep it moving.
Yeah, yeah. When I was reading your bio and reading about how you've had this love for nursing, it really does emanate from you, like your care for other people. I first met Love at the grand opening of of your gas station. And I mean, we took like a picture together and that was it. Like just, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Jean's wife, that's it. And then maybe like a month or so later, I had gotten sick and I was sick for like a few days. And I think you had seen my husband and asked about me, and he says, "Oh, she's sick." You texted me, you sent some something for me to take, which I did take. You sent special things to help me with my breathing, like everything. You were checking on me, and you gave me your cell phone number. And I just remember being like, she doesn't even really know me. And for you to be like, I remember you said to me, you have your own personal nurse now. And so for me, that just showed me that, this really is more than just a career, more than just a way to make money, to be an entrepreneur. Like it's really a part of who you are. So thank you. And I said thank you before, but thank you for that. That will always stay with me because, it's wonderful when you get to meet people and they are actually operating in their calling, which is to serve other people. So that's something that I see coming from you always. And every time that we've been around each other since then, I definitely see your care for other people. Okay. So now we're going to get into, the growth part. One of my,
Before you continue, Nicole,
yeah.
I think Nicole just put a disclaimer out there. We're all sisters. If you guys need anything medically wise, I know I'm not a doctor, but trust me, I do have like a whole medicine cabinet, and I believe in a lot of natural remedies that actually work. So you reach out to Love, okay? Because we're all in the same group, and if you're hurting, I'm hurting, and if there's anything I can do to assist, believe me, I will deliver it to your house if you're in Central Florida. So if ever
Yeah.
you're feeling achy, please reach out to Love. I'm here for you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, she did. And she got me all the way together. All the way together. You guys, I was feeling so much better. Thank you for that. So I wanted to ask you about that transition from, you went back to your love, you went back to nursing, but when did you decide I'm gonna start my business and what made you decide to branch out and start your business?
Oh, I always knew nursing was the route. I'm not nursing. Entrepreneurship was the route for me. I grew up with my parents being entrepreneurs. And I watched how my mother had freedom, which she stayed in Haiti so she can provide for us here. And her siblings came here because, they wanted the American freedom. And she said, you know what, you guys are slaving and I'm not for it. So therefore, I will stay behind, which she came like every 2 months and let my aunt raise me. So entrepreneur route was always the route for me because I watched my mother, as I said, and I love the freedom aspect of it. The plan was to go for nursing and advance to nurse practitioner and open up my own clinic. So if you go to my school right now, the dean, they all know me. No, she said she's going straight to business. That's the route for her, and this that. So that's something I've known since day one. And in elementary school, I used to go to Sam's Club and sell candy bars for like $1. Middle school, I would bake and bring it to school and sell it. So I've always had the entrepreneur trait in me.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Okay. So you know that your path is I want to get into entrepreneurship. How did you decide to get into staffing versus opening up your clinic as a nurse practitioner?
Staffing just happened. So I have a business plan from the age of 18 to open up a nursing school.
Yeah.
Um, and during COVID, I realized there was such a demand for staffing and people started traveling. At that time, I was going to open up a home health agency. Many individuals were terrified to go into the home due to COVID, and I know that would be a failure the first few years. So I said, you know what, staffing is huge right now. How about I leave home health behind for now and dive into staffing? So that's how staffing came about. I, at the time, knew nothing about staffing. I mean, I've been a DON, I've been a manager, charge nurse in nursing, but I knew absolutely nothing about it. There was a need at the time COVID happened, and I um, got a mentor and took a few classes, and I just dived in.
Yeah. Okay. So I love the way that you just laid that out because sometimes we have these ideas of what we want to do entrepreneurial wise, but we may hold ourselves back because we think we don't have enough information, we don't know what to do. So for someone who's in that position, what is your strategy? I heard you say mentor, I heard you say take classes. Is that always the path that you think you should go if you're trying to jump into something new?
For me, yes, that is always the path for me. I don't believe in trial and error. I don't believe that Google will teach you everything. The same way you could be sick and you can easily look it up to see what are the signs and symptoms, what's going on, versus trusting the professionals and going to see a primary. So he can tell you, you know what, these are usually the side effects, but your case is different. This is happening to you because maybe it could be like a hormone issue, it could be some sort of allergy. So because of that, I would prefer to sit with those individuals who's gone through the path that I one day want to be in, to
Yeah.
guide me and prevent me from making errors that I could probably, something I've learned from Google. And you learn faster that way and you thrive faster and you go in knowing like, hey, I'm equipped. I am going to have failures along the way, but I know enough to go ahead and start this business and take this business to the next level. And when I present my business, I know exactly what I'm talking about and know what to expect. Quick example, I have a friend who started a home health agency during COVID as well. And I did coach her on the whole consultant and getting a coach. Start with someone low if you can't afford the high end ones. And at the time, she's a nurse as well. She was able to afford it. She went the Google route and did the trial and error. It took her 2.5 years to get her license, and she was paying her office, I believe, like $2,000 at the time, not including overhead and everything else, which the consultant was only 5K. And at the time, we were making 10K a week. So, and you could have gotten the license in 6 months. So that's what I mean by that. If you go the long route, you're going to end up spending more money and wasting time and could easily get discouraged and not end up, starting that business.
Absolutely. This is good advice. I hope you all are taking notes. Talk to me about choosing a mentor. Like how did you decide who you wanted to use as a mentor, or even, if you hired a consultant, like how did you pick them?
So I had a friend at the time we were doing the same type of business, and she said, "Hey, I found a mentor. You can look her up. What do you think? Maybe we can do it together." So for that first mentor, she chose the mentor for me for the second one. So that mentor practically her job was to just show us how to start the business. So that lasted about 3 months. And from there, once the business was started and licensed, I took a second mentor 6 months later to show me how to maintain the business. And from there, a year and a half later, I took another one to show me how to thrive the business. So there are different layers.
Yeah.
I did look to see, number one, if the person was a registered nurse, if they
Mhm.
traveled, if how long they've been in business for. And I reached out to a few of their mentees as well and did a Q&A, a question to figure out if that mentor would be the right fit for me.
I love it. Okay, if you're comfortable with sharing numbers, because I firmly believe in investing in mentorship, education from people who know what they're talking about. But also, you have to pay for that experience. But what you get in return usually is multitudes beyond what you've spent. So if you feel comfortable sharing, how much
No
do you think
problem.
you invested in mentorship? And then what did that yield you? What did it give you?
Um, Initially, for that first year, I would say I spent about 18,000. And from that 18,000, I was able to gain a government, not a government contract, a corporate contract with about 8 facilities. And with that 8 facilities, I gained not financial freedom, but financial stability to
Yeah.
where we were able to invest more and gain the gas station. I often tell people, you look at the gas station, everyone is so wowed by it, but the staffing agency produces way more than the gas station. Had it not been for staffing, we would not be able to acquire the gas station. So the year just started in January. I took a mentorship class for the home health agency. That was about that one. It wasn't that much. It was about 3K. And then from there, 2 months later, I took another one, which that one was just solely on private clients, how to get private clients, and that one was 4K.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I've invested 18,000 in mentorship. I've invested $6,000 in mentorship, and every time it multiplies, what I've invested in regards to what my income has been. But it's challenging to convince people to invest in themselves in that way. And we're in such a climate where so many people are Google or AI experts, right? That's where they're getting their information from. Taking the time to investigate who you're going to be working with and investing in is really important. I love that that's part of your journey. Okay, so we talked about like investing in mentorship. What would you say was one of the biggest mindset changes that you had to make? Or like what was maybe one of the biggest challenges that you had to overcome when you were getting started?
that one is a major one for me, was leaving my regular job or my traveling job to start my own business, because nursing was at its peak at the time. Like I said earlier, we were making about 10 to 15K per week. And I left that behind to take a risk. That was very challenging. And of course, everything I made for that 6 months or a year, I put it into a business, not knowing what would come out of it. So it was a
Oh,
major risk I took, but it paid off in the long run.
can
So I
we
still
talk
think
about
about it.
Me too. Can we talk about it? And
Sure.
that jump from, the being an employee or trading your time for money, especially when you're in a industry that is well paid, that has, great consistency and bonuses, to jump into entrepreneurship, it's really tough. And yeah, it's a big thing. So I'd love to ask you, when you made the decision, what did you have to say to yourself? And what did you have to say to your husband to get everybody, yourself and him, on board with this huge change?
Well, for him, he was easily convinced. I'm blessed. I have the type of husband. If I say, "Hey, babe, let's jump," he just asks me, "Okay, when or how high?" and he just jumps. And it's vice versa.
Mhm.
Um, it was more for him at two. He was somewhat glad that I wasn't away like everyone else. We've been together for 16 years, married 10 years, and me being away for 6 months was somewhat traumatizing to him because then he had to sleep alone and he couldn't sleep. He's a big baby. When I would come home, I would pre-plan his meals and they all sat there. He wasn't eating, he was losing weight. So
Mhm.
telling him I wanted to start a business and I wanted to start it now, he said, "Oh, that's great. How do you start? Let's go. Yeah, take that class. Let's go for it." So it wasn't that difficult to convince him. But at the same time, for me, it was kind of what you can say not smart at the moment, to leave all that money behind and go and take a risk. So I didn't have a hard time at all convincing him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes it is. It's us
Mhm.
that we need the convincing. I, transitioned into real estate from a career in cybersecurity, and I remember making the decision and then being like, what have I done? Right? I am in this industry that is, so needed, so well paid, and I'm jumping into something I've never done before. Uh, and then, it takes a while before you really hit your stride and you realize, oh, this is so much better. Whether it's the work-life balance or it's the income, which, that happened as well. Like, it made so much more. I was like, I should have done this years ago. What was that moment for you where you knew I made the right choice?
Ooh. Um,
Or
Doors
have you
started
gotten
opening up,
yeah.
doors. God just started blessing us. We went from one business to two to three to four, and it's like, wow, Lord, you're really showing me your goodness. I'm glad I trusted you, and now you're showing up and showing out in my life. So I realized it after the second year when I got that corporate contract and we were able to invest, which, I mean, most of what we've accomplished today, I'm not saying we wouldn't have accomplished it in life, but it would take many, many years. And we were able to thrive faster than expected.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so what advice do you have for someone who's on the cusp, who's thinking, I want to take a leap, but I don't know if I'm ready?
Join a group on social media with that same exact business or entrepreneurs that are currently doing what you want to do. Do Q&A questions and go to seminars, ask questions, and figure out, go and volunteer somewhere. If it's staffing and you want to connect with me and see what I do on a daily basis, go and volunteer, shadow someone, find a mentor, and determine if this path is right for you versus you just taking the risk. And 2, 3 years later, you invested so much and you're miserable and realize I shouldn't have made that decision. So,
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I'm going to encourage everyone who's on watching with us, drop your questions in the chat because when we get to the end, we will absolutely have a Q&A session with Love. Oh, okay. So I want to talk a little bit about work-life balance. You have multiple businesses. How do you juggle it? How do you split your time? How do you split your attention focus? How do you do it?
Um, I do have a team behind me. Number one, of course, is my hubby. I give him a workload every day, every week. His time is split with me, but I utilize virtual assistants a lot. I'm huge on that. If you can find good virtual assistants, your business, your life will be so much easier. Um, Lost you guys here. Your life will be so much easier. So I utilize them for just about everything you can think of as far as like the interviews and onboarding. I
Mhm.
utilize them for that. My day to day, oh Jesus, we don't have any children yet. So that helps out a lot. I'm up by 6, 7 on a regular, in the office by 8, 9 at times, and balance. I don't know if that exists. Really, is just priority. There is no such thing as balance. There are days where I see hubby, but we're not spending as much time together as we should be. And then there are weeks where we're together almost every day. So I'm not sure what balance is, to be honest with you. I just work based on priority, but I listen to my body. If my body is telling me you need to slow down, then I do slow down, and I'll like stay home for the day. Lay on the couch all day if I have to, and just with my laptop on my lap, and just work from home. But there's no such thing as balance for me. I'm always going. I'm always doing something. I'm always planning the next move. And same goes for my husband.
Yeah. Is there a goal that you're working towards?
My ultimate goal is to open that nursing school we spoke about, with that
Yeah.
plan I've had since I was 18. So that's what we're working on right now, is that nursing school.
I love it. Okay, I want to circle back to virtual assistants. Uh, I love delegation and hiring other people. And I feel like so many entrepreneurs, when they're first starting out, are scared to bring on help. And virtual assistants to me are amazing ways to expand your capacity without necessarily taking on payroll of like, having to pay taxes and, do payroll for an actual individual. How did you find the virtual assistant that you are working with? And also, when did you know you needed a virtual assistant?
Virtual assistants are very beneficial and risky at the same time. I've gone through a good 18 to 20 terrible virtual assistants to getting 6 great virtual assistants. So my third mentor, she started her own company to where she outsources, trains, and provide virtual assistance to her mentees. That's how I was able to find a good virtual assistant. So I had to go through a pile of bad ones before I can get to good ones. And like I said, I utilize them for just about everything, but you have to stay on top of them. You do find virtual assistants, when you give them a task list, they're working for 3 4 other businesses, and they're not focused. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. So initially you do have to micromanage them, to mold them and transform them to what you want them to be, and for them to believe in your business and your culture. If you can get that out of them, they become family.
Yeah. So I know we have a few people in our group who are virtual assistants, but who also have virtual assistant companies. What would be, as a consumer, as the client to a virtual assistant, what would be some of the main things that you would say if you incorporate this into your virtual assistant job or your business, you would blow your clients' minds?
Hmm. For me, it would be providing bonuses. They get so excited when you provide bonuses to them, and when they go out there and pitch your business and make calls, they do it as if they are the CEO.
Yeah.
And when I started doing that, I watched my leads go from 5 a week to more like 20, 30 a week. They got very ecstatic and they made my business their business, and that took my business to the next level. So that's something you all can probably adapt in your business. It really works. And for them, $5 per lead goes a long way. $5 per contract goes a long way, because these virtual assistants, I also try to hire nurses as well as my virtual assistants so they know the lingo, and they get paid 300, 350 per month as a nurse in their country, versus getting paid $1,000 for the month. So that's like tripling their monthly income.
That's amazing. I love that our global economy does allow us to really take the money that we make and spread it and help people who need it. I love that. When did you know that you needed more help? Like, what is that point where a entrepreneur should consider getting a virtual assistant or hiring someone?
After I gained the government, not the government, I keep saying government. Lord, you're telling me something. I need a government contract. When I gained
Tell
my
me.
first corporate contract, I went
Yeah.
from 2 facilities to 8 facilities. That's when I realized, like, oh my gosh, I'm only one person. I can't do it all.
Yeah.
I need assistance. And I reached out to my mentor, and she was able to assist me and ask me, how many contracts how do you have, what's the need, how many nurses, how many nurse practitioners do you need, and we were able to get 6 virtual assistants from there.
That's awesome. Amazing. Amazing. So we have a couple of comments in the chat. One, how can we connect with you on Facebook or Instagram? I have all of her links. She shared all of them with me. So they will be in these notes in YouTube. We also have someone who says, uh-oh, you have a prophecy in the chat. The government contract will be solidified by July 2025.
I
We both
receive
touch and
it.
agree. We all will touch and agree on that. I love it. And
Listen, whoever prophesied that, I do receive it, and I believe it will happen. I'm taking the team, not just you. I am taking the team out to dinner, luxury restaurant. Okay, not just the regular Bahama Breeze. We're gonna dress up, looking fly, very nice, sexy, and sophisticating, and we can have these talks.
that's it. That is it. I love it. I love it. I love it. We're here touching and agreeing, and we already know that when all of us are focused and believing on the same thing and we're touching and agreeing, it's going to happen. So we'll just wait
Yes,
for you to tell us that
yes,
you got that contract.
yes.
Uh, so we have a comment. Just our virtual assistant conversation seems to be beneficial. Tyresha shared that becoming a virtual assistant is something that she's been interested in, as well as starting her own virtual assistant business. Tyresha, please, please, please put this in the chat. I don't know if she's still on, but I did see Deanna was on here. Deanna is a phenomenal virtual assistant and a very highly rated, amazing. So she could absolutely help you get started. And then you have another pro right here, someone who is a client of virtual assistants. You can get a lot of information from both of them. Um, and oh, you're welcome. Deanna is still on. And then also, we have a question. Do you hire only RNs, or do you also staff CNAs and LPNs?
We hire anything medical, CNAs, from CNAs all the way up to doctors, CNAs, HHAs, because I also have Splendid Medical Staffing is a medical staffing and a home health agency. We are skilled and non-skilled. We hire HHAs, CNAs, LPNs, RNs, social workers, physical therapists, speech therapists, occupational therapists, and also NPs, nurse practitioners.
Love it. Love it. B, I hope that answered your question as well. You all, please keep dropping your questions in the chat if you have any. This is I mean, I knew it was going to be a wonderful conversation, love, because you are just so phenomenal. But this has been amazing. Now, do you staff all over the country, or do you focus just on Florida, Central Florida?
During COVID, I got the opportunity to staff all 50 states. Right now, I am focused on just 9 states only because the needs are not as demanding anymore. Right now, we're currently staffing Oregon, Texas, Florida, of course, Massachusetts. I have North Carolina, Michigan, and California.
Amazing. And I could imagine that all of those states have different requirements and regulations for your business operating in those states. It's amazing what you are doing and what you've been able to put together. Um, how do you keep the regulation piece together?
My mentor,
I
my
love
mentor,
it.
basically, her team does everything for me. I would be
I,
lost without them. Yeah, there's absolutely no way. With Florida and Massachusetts, I started with Massachusetts and then Florida, those 2 states, I manage them, but the other states, I just let her do it because it's just overwhelming for me.
I love it. I love it. There's some more messages in the chat about people who have friends and family members in the medical field. They're going to make sure that they get them connected and keep them
Yes.
connected to you. I have two more questions for you. The next question is, we know as we go along our journey, there's different challenges that we face at different levels. So now at the level that you're at now, you have corporation, you are a philanthropist, you have a nonprofit organization, you have all of these businesses. At this level of business, what is the biggest challenge that you're facing right now?
At times, I feel like my baby is neglected. When I say my baby, I'm referring to Hope for a Healthier Life. As I said earlier, that is what I think about every day.
Yeah,
Um, I focus more on my moneymaker, which is the medical staffing agency, versus Hope for a Healthier Life. And
yeah,
this year, I made a vow to myself and to God because Hope for a Healthier Life is a ministry, and that is my ministry. That is my calling, my purpose in life to give more of my time to the community versus trying to make more money to fulfill the next project and the next business. So that's my
yeah.
biggest challenge. And I think about it all the time, every day, 24/7. I'm always thinking, what did I do or what did I not do for Hope for a Healthier Life today?
That's beautiful. Well, I know what you are doing for Hope for a Healthier Life. Those of you who are in Central Florida, on August 10th, Hope for a Healthier Life is hosting a back to school health fair. And this is so important, not just for our families that are sending children back to school that play sports and they need physicals, but they're also offering health screenings, educational resources, school supplies, free testing for blood sugar levels, for HIV, for blood pressure, educational sessions on early detection, smoking cessation. Smoking and vaping, even though we think those are done, vaping has kind of regenerated that whole smoking scene, and the importance of some type of healthcare enrollment. All of these things will be happening at the health fair. It's on Saturday, August the 10th. It'll be at the Bethesda Health Rejuvenation Center. That's on Sunport Drive here in Orlando. We will give you the phone number and the email address is hopeforhealthierlife@gmail.com. You can also register online. It's very easy. You go to H4, the number 4, HL.org to register. Free backpacks, haircuts, arts and crafts, girls hair braiding, come out. If you're in Central Florida, this is a wonderful, wonderful way to come out. Take advantage of everything that Love and her team has put together to give to the community. Share this with people you know who live in Central Florida, who have children coming back to school, who need to get more information on healthcare resources. I think this is such a phenomenal way to show up in our communities, and you guys are getting the opportunity to actually talk to someone who is in your community as not only a business leader, but also as a humanity leader. The time is from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I saw OJ asked. And please reach out to Love in the Skool app and check on what donations are needed, what volunteers are needed, how we can help and support. I know she has shared the flyer before, but when I post this in the app, I'm going to share the flyer with you all so you can put it on your social medias and encourage people to come out. And now you can say, I know the person behind this. I know their heart. I know their intention for our community. I'm so thankful that you are here. And my last question for you, my dear, is what would be something that people would be surprised to know about you? Whatever you're comfortable with sharing, what would be something people would be surprised to know about you?
I hate talking about myself. I don't like to be boastful. I love to uplift my friends, but I absolutely hate talking about myself, believe it or not. I
Yeah,
tell my
I
husband if I become a millionaire or billionaire today, nobody would know because,
know.
I would just go out and splurge on hope for a healthier life and make sure my community is taken care of. That's it. But I would do nothing for myself. I don't like talking about myself.
Oh, I
This
know.
was difficult, guys. I know it may seem easy. Oh my gosh, she's talking about herself. I said, Nicole, I'm kind of shy, believe it or not, and I don't like talking about myself. So you guys are taking me out of my shell.
We are very thankful. And I'll just tell you, I'll leave you with this. If you didn't go through this discomfort, all of these people who I know are going to watch this, they're going to watch the replays, all of us who are here, even me, I've learned so much. I've been inspired so much because you decided to talk
Oh,
about yourself for a little bit today.
thank you, Noelle.
Yes, and B, she
V,
says your aura matches the name, and it's okay to
I
talk
love
about yourself.
that.
You are an inspiration. I
Thank
love
you
it. I
so
love
much.
it.
I know this is just for this group. I know most of us are entrepreneurs on here. If you want to participate as a vendor for the back to school health fair, I will go ahead and waive since it's last minute. If you're interested, I will waive the vendor fee and you can come out and showcase your business and showcase yourself. Whatever it is, just reach out to us. And as far as donations, we're always looking for donations. The plan is to not only provide backpacks and supplies, we also plan on providing food throughout the whole event as well. So that would go a long way. And I want to be able to give a love offering to the stylists that are coming out to assist us because they do have to buy their own supplies to come out and do the children's hair. So whatever you can donate would go a long way. You can donate via Zelle. The email is hopeforahealthierlife@gmail.com, or you can mail us a check to 1685 Lee Road, Suite 210, Winter Park, Florida 32789. And just for this group, like I said, we are family, and this group is going to be like the best sisterhood group, the best women's group in Central Florida. I will give you all my personal cell. The best way to contact me is via text. If you call me, I don't answer, text me. I promise you I will return the text and I will give you a call back. So, Nicole, feel free to put my cell on the chat as
I'll
well.
put it in the group. I absolutely will. I will. Thank you so much. Thank you all who are on with us. Thank you, those of you who are watching the replay. I'm sure if you put any comments or questions, I will make sure that those get back to Love and that she can answer them for you. And again, you all have access to her in Skool. You can message her there and you see how receptive and open she is. It's not an act. This is truly how she is. This is her heart all the time. She is accessible. If you have questions, anything that we talked about that you want to circle back with her on, don't hesitate to do so. And you've got so many thanks in this chat, Love. I
Oh,
cannot Stress
The
enough. How
honor.
wonderful
The
this has
honor
been
is
so
all
great.
mine. Thank you, Nicole, for this platform. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know it's lunchtime. You took the time to come out and support Nicole, support this group, and also support me. You get to hear me do what I do not like to do. So I appreciate that. And I love you all so much. Looking forward to meeting you all physically.
Absolutely. Well, I love you. Thank you very much. You all have a good rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Have a good one, ladies. Thank you all so much.